My name's Torrie again. So JC talked about jobs in the United States, and it is true that Boeing will be producing in Seattle, and they talk about Northrop not having jobs in Europe, which I find the information that we found is not true. Like, they are going to be working in Europe, and they are going to be using European workers in these companies that are building the U.S. tanker that we will potentially use in war to fight. Northrop is finalizing in the U.S., but that's only going to support about 2,000 jobs. It says here that the Real American Tankers says if Boeing wins the contract for America's new Air Force tanker, approximately 50,000 jobs for Boeing and its supply base will be based and created here in the United States. To extend on that, its supply base, so it's not just Boeing, but it's other parts, like offshoots of Boeing. And also, that same website says that Boeing supports an additional 1.2 million supplier-related jobs in the United States. They're not only using Boeing workers to supply this tanker, but you need other things to build tankers. You need like bolts and screws and everything else, and Boeing is not like a bolt and screw company. They build tankers, so they have to get other companies to like get the screws and bolts and all the extra stuff from. So they're supplying Boeing workers, like offshoots of Boeing workers, and workers that aren't even related to Boeing, but Boeing's going to buy their products from them. So that's even more Americans getting jobs. They also talked about the facility in Alabama. The facility has actually never been used before. It's only 2 years old, and that is where Northrop is planning on finishing their tanker. But if it's never been used before, they don't know exactly how well that's going to go, and they're not going to be, again, giving jobs to as many Americans. And they keep talking about the guidelines that they grade on for the contract. They keep speaking about the guidelines from the last contract, where it was more like, I keep saying sorry, it had more bells and whistles, where the new contract doesn't. The Air Force has made these new guidelines. They are aware that it doesn't have all these bells and whistles, and they are okay with that. The Pentagon supports the Air Force with this, so the Pentagon and the Air Force are both okay with the new guidelines. They're okay with not having as many bells and whistles, and they know what they're getting themselves into. The contract that is being pulled away, the second contract that's being pulled, is because the Air Force wanted to change it. They wanted something simpler. They wanted something that would just go in and fight and do exactly what it needed to do. That's what Boeing has to offer. Boeing, again, offers... It's bigger, and Boeing can offload 23% more fuel, carry 44% more cargo, and 42% more passengers than the Airbus tanker. It's not talking about anything extra. It's just focused on the main points, which is the fuel, which is the main part, and the cargo, which is, of course, important, and the passengers that they need to transport from place to place. So Boeing is better.